I have one thing left to say, and this is to the ones that know me the best and have judged me the most and rejected me in my greatest need, abandoned me, betrayed me, accused me falsely. And even though I followed scripture to the best of my ability and went to you, even though I was wrong, in great need, in tears, just asking for time, promises to be kept. What can I count on? Can you write it down so I know? Even writing it down. Can I know I'm the greatest of these, right? I've been told so many times I'm the problem when I've gone in need and been told point blank, I don't want to understand. I don't care. And the truth hurts. And the brutality hurts. And over again it hurts, even though I'm told to get over it. When your lack of honoring your words for years alone, the majority of the time, when I was still grieving the loss of one family and one husband. And you know what, I'm so forthright, maybe too forthright, but I wasn't willing to be dishonest anymore. And the more I went through counseling and the more healing that I received and the more God showed me the sickness in my family and how my needs mattered too. And I was worthy of good things too. Especially in my hurt, in my greatest needs. To be put out, locked out, shamed, blamed, repeatedly. For being so wounded in so much pain. In bed for days or weeks. And the one thing, the little kitties that I rescued, like, they were there for me when no one else was, for the, just through COVID, through, and then going on your Facebook pages, when I've reached out privately in so much need and being ignored, being completely ignored. Wanting to die because it's like, if your own mother, if your own family, like, all the years, my empathetic being, as a believer, like, in the years of counseling and introspection and self-examining and, just like looking at why you may be the way you are and what brought you pain and made you the way you are, abusive to me, gaslighting me, blaming me for things I didn't do, like, abuse, cold, critical, covert abuse, and overt annihilation. The cold, covert abuse that I denied for so long, the manipulative abuse I didn't really see for years because I didn't want to. I wanted to believe, my family's the best, like just, and really God's the best. My family sucks. My family is not righteous. My family is not holy apart from Jesus and the haughtiness, the self-righteousness. And I've been guilty of it too, but I am the first to admit, just because I'm an open book about my sin and I confess my sin to one another, I really work hard at following scripture and I fail miserably. And I have thorns in my flesh that I have prayed for decades to be removed. Yet His grace has been sufficient. And I have given much grace and forgiven 70 times 7. Sometimes for the same thing over and over and over again. And sometimes it's the same thing. And just the waves are of the triggers and the wounds are reopened because there's no remorse from you. Ever. I've not had one person that I could think of that has cried remorsefully like I have and asked for forgiveness for my stuff. Yet I have been homeless, literally homeless, with not one of my blood family checking in on me on a regular or even periodically for years. And I would beg, please, I just wanted the time and the space that you promise. I need to be with my kids. I would never have bought this place. I was told that I needed to buy something and, that I could have the townhome. I could have a room here. And I've said a lot of this before. And I'm not trying to cast stones at all. God knows the truth. I've said it over and over again. I've been jailed for defending myself against a brother that has been in jail numerous times for violence. I've never liked violence. I was raised in a sometimes very violent, scary home, in the car or in the, But then we arrive at church or we arrive at family or they come, just abuse. If the family shows up or we show up at family, whether it's church family or blood family, put that fake smile on, pretend like it's all good. We're the perfect family, right? How many of you can relate to that? I know there's more than one in my family. And when I say family, I mean extended family. Both of my parents have quite a few siblings. Fake. Lies. And I put it all out there, not because I want others to, I want health. Most of all, I want Jesus first. Listen to the message. Listen to the message that's pinned to the top of my page. Listen to it. Or don't. Because you guys are all good. You know, I see it. I see it. All good. Pickleball, nice community, all the family support, all the loves and likes and loves and likes, and me wanting to be with family. You know how hard I tried? But in my brokenness and my physical pain and all my physical, emotional pain, financial, just loss after loss after loss, trauma after trauma. And I'm still blamed. I'm still blamed. And I smile now because, it's so ingrained in me. So my words don't match my face. But you can see it in my eyes, right? Can you see it in my eyes? The actions and lack thereof have proved for years. Yeah, there might be a cousin, once in a while, checks in or whatever. But I have far reached out more than anybody's reached to me. And you know that I've been alone. Completely alone. And I never wanted this. I wanted to live with my family for a while. I wasn't ready to buy a home. I wasn't ready to leave Illinois. I left because my kids didn't want me there. They wanted to party, right? Live with their dad who wasn't around. Working all the time or, with his girlfriend. They didn't want to live with me, who struggled with depression and was grieving myself. And so, I didn't leave because, never left because I wanted to. I left because I wanted to protect them. But also, I knew in my heart of hearts, there were the moments that, I wasn't so depressed that it was like, my kids need me. When I was so depressed, I thought my kids would be better off without me. Nobody loves me. I don't matter. And your actions and your words, my family proved it so many times when I cried out in need. So many times. God has helped me forgive over and over again. Those waves crash, my seawall, earthquake happens out of the ocean. I don't have a car for 3 months. A few new friends are willing to take some time, but where's my family? Brand new friends. My first Thanksgiving in years that I actually looked forward to with people I hardly knew. Chosen familia. Chosen. Cared for me when none of my family did. Holidays alone. Christmas alone. Christmas Eves alone. Get over it, Renee. I was told repeatedly. Get over it. Yeah, that's easy for you to say. You've got the money. You've got the safety in a safe community. You don't have to live in a condo where there's sewage and water main breaks and water through the bathroom vent and water down the kitchen light for months in an HOA that doesn't care and not only doesn't care, has threatened me for just trying to get what's right done, and having to go to the city and having to go to the fire department and still not getting anything. And finally, the Miami collapse, and I say thank God, but I don't, it hurts me that those people lost their life. But for months, I didn't have, but it didn't matter. None of it mattered. My dad died. I wanted to be at the family house. I didn't want to be over here. My boys and I. I wanted to be with my mom, who I thought cared about me. Oh, those actions proved very differently. She put on a good show. She may say that she cares, but her, no. That's a really good front, Mom. And I don't negate all the good that you've done. I don't negate all the good that you've done. I still see your beauty. But I also see the face that smiled before the deputy came to the room. Because you wanted me out. You putting your hands on me repeatedly. And when I was so broken down, and I finally confided, and I told the police some honest things, they said, you need to file a report, Renee. You need to file a report. But you won, right, Mom? You got that smile and you won. But you put a good show on at the courts. You cried, right, for a minute. But you're living the good life. You've got all the family. You've got my dad's family. You got your family. I wanted to be up there for the Bean Bash. I planned to be up there for the Bean Bash. You turned my kids against me. And I can hear it now. Oh, she's mentally ill. You're sick. You're in so much sickness and denial. You can't even see the truth. I've been through years of recovery. Christian recovery. Counselors, Celebrate Recovery, different ministries, facing the truth about who I am, looking for love. Painfully true about my sin. But you keep just sweeping your sin under the rug. And just because I wasn't willing anymore. To be in that kind of toxicity. Yet blamed for being toxic, because I was finally honest. And sometimes I did get upset about it. And, I fully admit, I made some poor choices. But I was striving like nobody else in the family for some real honesty. Like, let's get real. Let's be real. Even if it's not pretty. Not one is righteous. No, not one. It's ugly though? Haughtiness. Your own family members on the side of the road. Beaten down. Homeless. Not one good Samaritan in my family took me in. Kept me until I was well. Not one. The truth will set you free. It doesn't necessarily feel good. Oh, but I'm not living lies anymore. I'm not pretending. Oh, I never, when I say never, I mean, like, I've always put myself out there. That's just in my nature, because I see people hurting, and I want them to know you're not alone. I've made bad choices too. I've done some really brutal things. From post-abortion ministries, and admitting my sin to others, and asking for prayer in small groups and couples groups and mothers groups, and just so vulnerable, so real, maybe, too real for most people's liking. I get that. When you're depressed for a week, 2 weeks, maybe sometimes more, and it's a fight just to get up, and some days you can't even do it. You just breathe, and you feel so much shame because that's what you were taught. You lazy no good bump on a log. Those tapes that you play in your head when you're just tired and you're hurting and you need some love. And yet I still love my daddy, and I still love my mommy. And I will always, always, always love and cherish and delight the greatest joys in my life. And Lord, strike me dead if I ever reject them like I've been rejected. I never want that for them. I never want them to feel what I've felt. Wow, I've been talking for a while. I'm going to stop now. Try to put the pieces back together that I've been trying to put back together for years, but the rug just keeps being slipped out from under me, and it's like I still, this was never intended to be my home. This is just a place my mom wanted me to buy. My dad wanted me to buy. So what? I could be out of their hair. Couldn't be, didn't want me and living with them, right? May I never, when my kids are broken, after years of marriage, needing some family, some love, and I know, my kids have hurt. They've hurt for years, and I fought for them. I saw their pain because I'm so familiar with pain, and fought for their good, and with my ex-husband, who they're just teenagers. No, they're not. It hurts them that their parents are broken up, that you're leaving, that I left for a while, that I separated for you, but I wanted you. I wanted you to want me. And all this stuff. I don't need to go over all the addictions that you had. Leaving the marriage bed within a few months. But because I did it for real and you did it in your mind, and I did it for real after years of neglect, months of neglect, that turned into years of neglect, from one addiction to another, crying out. Again, I could go on and on. What doesn't matter? I'm the one blamed. I'm not stupid. When you grow up in an abusive home, you pay attention. You read between the lines. You see things that other people don't see because you're on guard. You got to know when to get the heck out of Dodge. Or brace yourself. Or hide. I learned that really well. Pay attention to the cues. Some of them were really obvious. Some of them were Oh no, here it comes. Oh yeah, there's some control and manipulation there. I didn't have words for it when I was younger, but I knew it was wrong. And I rebelled against it for a while, and God brought me to Him, you know, to deal with my own pain. I made a lot of poor choices, right? He didn't let me go. I said the prayer in Sunday school. He brought me back in my later teens. Baptized, born again. Oh, I remember Grandma Halfley. And still hear her laugh. So tickled. She just wanted us to know Jesus. Thank you. My dad, too. Man, he's a passionate, fiery man sometimes. Just wanted us to know Jesus. And sometimes it was just too much, because those love poems, all those love poems, how many times he was abusive hours before he, or, it just, and then wanted us, or, maybe a day before, maybe, after so much abuse, maybe it was even like, whatever. The last thing my family wanted to do, my mom, me, wanted to do is read his love poem. Yet you know what? We all fall short. God knew his heart. God knows my heart. God knows your heart. We're all guilty. We're all guilty. We all fall short. Okay. What next, Lord? What next?